Yeah, it's been great. With Derek pitched all of us with the idea of wanting to have a team and compete in the TBT tournament. Obviously it's always nice to come back and get to regroup with old guys and old teammates and be able to compete again as one and go out and complete the mission. So it's been great to be back. I'm always here and working out. But it's always nice to see everybody and get those feels of what once was. But it's always good. It's always good, and I'm happy to be here. So it's cool.
On the flip side, what's it like to be able to see the team continue to grow and continue to blossom well past when you graduate?
That's the goal. I mean, and that's what we hope. That's what continues on and whatnot. So each year, I think we always have a shot in winning our conference, and with our coaching staff and Derek O'Grady, it's always nice to be able to have people that you can always count on and know that they know what they're doing and continue to keep pushing on what we builded and was trying to do with the teams that I was on. So that's always a good feeling too, and it's always nice to come back out and see the young guys and see how they developed and just hopefully continue to keep rooting for them and hopefully they meet what they want to meet. So it's always nice.
So it's not like you've played with every single guy that's going to be part of this team before, but a good group of them, I'm sure about most of them anyway. How fun is it going to be to see these guys when you're all together and get ready for this weekend?
Yeah, played with a couple of them. Actually, no, I played with damn near all of them. I think Ben Carlson and Dylan Penn are the only two people that I didn't play with, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna start to reminisce about the old days and stuff like that. But I'm excited. I'm excited to compete. So it's gonna be a good time.
Do you feel some pressure on yourself being kind of the guy that's bridging the 2010s and the 2020 guys here?
I feel old. No, I don't feel no pressure. I mean, I'm just here, happy to be able to play basketball, be able to get coached under Derek O'Grady. I know he's going to do a great job, and if there is pressure, then I'll willingly take it on. So I'm not afraid of pressure. So just everything's all good.
How easily does the chemistry come back between you and some of your old teammates when you get back into the competitive nature?
I think I probably wouldn't say easily, but I mean, I think since everybody has played a year of professional basketball and they've obviously played college basketball, I think it's not super easy, but you kind of just figure it out, especially when it comes to practice. Like you go through the motions and you go through certain things, and then once you kind of get ramped up and whatnot, you kind of find that feel of being able to gel again and stuff like that. So it should be a good time. It shouldn't be super easy, but I think we're gonna all gel well, and then we're gonna all compete really, really well. So it should be fun.
What are some of the similarities and some of the differences, and how are you guys maybe adapting play style from what you're used to maybe here versus pro teams, et cetera, as you kind of go into this tournament compared to a college basketball game?
Yeah, well, when it comes to the tournament, I mean, it's different, obviously, from college to college. It's more systematic, and you really got your offense and defensive schemes, and you're going through a whole week of really planning on what's going on and stuff like that. So I think when it comes to college, it's a little bit more intense, even with the pros too. It's a little bit more intense, but with this, it's kind of like you throw a group of guys on a team, and the goal is to win the ultimate prize. But also similar too, because with that, you want to be able to prepare, you want to come in shape, you want to be able to be at your best, so we can have the best opportunity to win. And Derek and Ernie have done a good job too with being able to kind of let us know, like, here's our opponent. This is kind of what they like to do, what they don't like to do and whatnot. So it's similar and different at the same time. It's different because it's just literally just bring a group of guys and you're just going out and play. But the similar part of it too is where it's like you're going out there and competing. At the end of the day, you're going out there competing and you want to win. So that's the beautiful part of it, and you just get to compete. That's like I love being here and getting to compete, even with just today's practice or whoever it is, you can put kids on the court. Like, you know, I'm gonna compete regardless. So that's always a great aspect of it.
You go into this tournament initially, and you're playing against, I don't remember exactly what the name of the team is, but I know it's guys from maybe like lower division college basketball.
It's Rise and Grind.
Yeah, so they played like D2 and D3 and NAIA. So maybe you guys kind of go in a little bit as a Goliath compared to them, but if you get through them, then you're in a situation where you're not going to be the
Right.
Goliath playing against like UConn or Syracuse alums down the line possibly. How do
Right.
you kind of deal with that dichotomy and kind of get yourselves in the right mindset for this challenge?
Well, I think when it comes to this tournament, you know, it's basically like the NCAA tournament, you know, single elimination. If you win, you advance. If you lose, you go home. So I guess people could say we're the, you know, the Goliath going into this game on Saturday, but it's still anybody's game, you know. Like, we could play horrible and they could blow us out and vice versa. So I think with the mindset that, you know, I have, and I know Derek has, and I know the whole team probably has too, is we're going into it where it's, you know, we're going to respect our opponents and we're going to, you know, do everything we can do to beat them, you know, and that's just kind of where we're at when it comes to that. Yeah, not trying to look too much forward after, you know, Saturday's game because we have to win Saturday's game, but, you know, every game is we're going to take one at a time and we're going to approach every game the exact same way. So,
I guess what made you want to play with Green Mountain men this year? Or like the first team, what made you want to play?
I mean, Derek O'Grady is just a great guy.
He didn't have a choice.
Derek O'Grady was just a great guy. You know, I just felt like it would have been a nice opportunity to come back and be able to represent Vermont in the TBT tournament and hopefully get some wins. So, yeah.
What makes Derek O'Grady so good person? I don't know. I haven't talked to him before. So.
Yeah. He's just he's the biggest Kobe Bryant fan, and that's where we really connect because Kobe's my favorite player. But he just, when it comes to like actually, you know, basketball, he knows his stuff, and you know, he's always going to be prepared to the max. And even with a tournament like this, you know, it's I don't know if some teams are doing it, but you know, usually there's teams who, you know, kind of just going into this tournament just kind of just lollygagging. But I know, like, you know, Derek has put a lot of work in setting all this up, and I know he's put a lot of work in just what we want to do and how we're going to be our best and be able to get the win. And so he's just it's somebody you can rely on, and, you know, hopefully in the future he will be a head coach somewhere because he definitely has that type of feel. But he's just somebody who, you know, you can rely on, and I've known him for a while, and he's just going to be prepared just like how we're going to be prepared on the court. So
You mentioned coming back to Vermont and wanting to play for Vermont. Being a guy from Vermont, how does it feel to have that opportunity to come back after playing for representing the city again?
it's great. It's great, man. I've known you for a while. It's funny. It's just you're so grown now. But, no, it's great. I mean, I think, you know, this is kind of where, you know, my journey starts, especially from a kid from Vermont, playing in high school and then playing at University of Vermont. The journey was a long one, but also a great one, too. So it's just always nice to be able to represent where you're from. And, you know, playing at the professional level is great, and that's, you know, what I've always wanted to do as a kid. So whenever I can get a chance to, you know, come back to Vermont and truly represent it, it's one of the best feelings in the world. So
Looking at a more bird's eye view of basketball in Vermont as a whole, right? Obviously, you can keep up with the college team and keep up with the guys, but looking at like the high school level, right? Seeing how Rice has continued to be dominant, seeing how the Duncans are getting more involved in the community, and Ernie's running the CVU program. How have you seen basketball in Vermont from the high school level and continue to blossom into becoming its fullest potential?
yeah, I think you know, we're taking good steps when it comes to, you know, former players who actually are getting involved and really caring about the kids and trying to grow basketball, high school basketball in Vermont, because have always been looked at as non-existing when it comes to you know, the good states and basketball level. So I think we still are very far away, but I think we're going in the right path, and you know, with people who are actually caring about, you know, wanting to develop the kids and whatnot, then like we should be fine. So it's good for now. Yeah.